In this video, we're going to tell a real story that reveals the dangers of trading on platforms that call themselves decentralized, but in reality hide a highly centralized and opaque structure. We're talking about Antarctic Exchange, a platform many believe to be a hybrid DEX, which today faces serious suspicions of liquidity problems and even possible insolvency. It all began in late August, when a user tried to transfer funds from their trading account to their funding account. Two transactions worth over $25,000 got stuck in the system. The money never arrived and was never returned. The user contacted support. At first, a bot replied. Then three supposed agents appeared: Alan, Victor, and Serena. They all said the same thing: the technical team is reviewing your case. Your funds are safe. After several days with no progress, on September 5th, the exchange issued an official statement. It claimed that the risk control system had detected abnormal activity and had triggered an anti-money laundering (AML) review. However, they never explained what the suspicious activity was, nor provided any evidence. When the user requested an internal report of the transfers, Agent Allen replied that such information could not be shared for security reasons. Over the following weeks, the conversation with support turned into an endless loop. Your case is under review. Your funds are safe. Thank you for your patience. Meanwhile, the transfers remained blocked. Even new withdrawal attempts of $2,000 or $3,000 were either rejected or simply disappeared from the account balance. The account would show zero, then display a balance again. But the funds could never be moved. By the end of September, more than a month had passed since the first complaint. The user opened a formal support ticket, sent their email and UID, and even threatened to make the case public in well-known trading communities like CryptoFace and Jason Casper. Still, the response was identical. Please wait patiently for our update. Finally, one agent admitted something key. The funds had been frozen due to risk control activation, a phrase that, in practice, means total lockout. After analyzing the full history, it became clear that Antarctic Exchange is not a real DEX. It operates as a hybrid platform that promises decentralization, while maintaining absolute control over users' funds and operations. Users do not interact with smart contracts on the blockchain. They interact with a centralized database. And that means if the company decides to block your account, there's nothing you can do. What's even more concerning came later. The user discovered that even their collateral positions had vanished. Neither their trading profits nor the original deposit could be withdrawn. Everything points to one conclusion: the exchange's liquidity evaporated. The funds simply no longer existed. And without liquidity, transparency, or audits, an exchange stops being operational and becomes just an empty web page with numbers that no longer represent anything. After more than 40 days, the user still hasn't recovered a single dollar. No profits, no deposits, nothing. Antarctic Exchange does not meet the principles of a true DEX. There's no on-chain traceability, no public data, and no real support. Everything indicates that the exchange has lost its liquidity and possibly its reserves. This case leaves a clear lesson: decentralization isn't claimed, it's proven. If a platform doesn't let you verify transactions on the blockchain or process basic withdrawals, then it's not a DEX, no matter how convincing it looks. Before depositing, always check where the funds are and who controls them. Because when the exchange controls your assets, you are no longer the one in control. And the risk of losing everything is very real. This was the story of Antarctic Exchange, a case that began with a simple transfer and ended by exposing the collapse of a platform that hides behind the word decentralized, but has neither liquidity nor credibility. After everything we've seen in the Antarctic Exchange case, it's clear that not every platform that calls itself decentralized truly is. Many operate under a hybrid architecture, where decentralization is just a buzzword used to gain trust. That's why, before depositing money into any DEX, it's worth taking a few minutes to review key points that can make the difference between safety and total loss. First, locked makes sure the DEX is truly non-custodial. In a genuine DEX, your private keys and funds remain under your control. No one should be able to freeze, move, or access your assets. If the exchange can do that, then it's not a DEX. It's a middleman disguised as one. Also, all transactions should be visible on the blockchain and have a verifiable transaction hash. If the exchange handles funds in a private database or doesn't show public deposit addresses, that's an immediate red flag. Second, puzzle piece check transparency and platform registration. A legitimate project publishes its code, smart contracts, and often security audits. If the website has no GitHub links, no technical documentation, and no data about its founders or legal jurisdiction, don't proceed. Remember, decentralization without transparency doesn't mean freedom, it means risk. Third, bar chart review liquidity and trading volume. A real DEX has open liquidity pools or order books and shows how many assets are locked in its contracts. If liquidity is low or the volumes look inflated, there's probably no real backing behind those numbers. It's also wise to start small. Test deposits and withdrawals before sending large amounts. A legitimate DEX will never make you wait days to process a simple withdrawal. Finally, Globe with Meridians choose protocols with active communities. Projects that maintain public forums, Discord servers, and transparent support channels are generally far more trustworthy than those that rely solely on private chat or Telegram messages. In the crypto world, trust isn't given, it's verified. Every transaction should be traceable, every contract auditable, and every promise verifiable. Because when an exchange stops being transparent, decentralization ceases to exist. Ultimately, the best defense for any crypto user is knowledge, understanding how a DEX truly works, and recognizing when a platform is only pretending to be one can be the difference between keeping your funds and losing them forever. Antarctic Exchange is not an isolated case. It's a reminder that true decentralization doesn't need marketing, it needs proof, and those proofs should always be on the chain.